How goes it, everybody? I woke up about 90 minutes ago. It is right now after 7 a.m. I know probably after I make this video, I'm going to head out and see if the nearby Kroger's is open because I need a couple things. Milk is one of them, and a loaf of bread is another. Now, I'm going to address something that was mentioned on Bullfrog's program late Wednesday night. Minnesota Vikings fan told me about this on his program earlier today, which, by the way, I had to, of course, go to a part 1 and part 2 because there was lagging again on my end of the stream. So what I had to do was turn down the video code, I guess what it's called. If it's not, feel free to correct me. Apparently had to change the settings on those. It was a couple things I had to lower. The second half went by with no problem, and I'm going to continue to do that on all my future streams, whether it's Dr. Earl Live, my shows with Argnolia, or any music stream that I decide to do later on that evening. But back to the subject. Minnesota Vikings fan calls in saying he's had enough of YR, Keith, and SE Steve talking shit about him. He was yelling at the top of his voice there, and I listened in. And Keith Rebarber said a little something that I need to touch upon. Keith Rebarber said that according to YR, ever since I left Metal Maniacs, the show, as you know, I did with YR for a few weeks. Ever since I left that show, I have become irrelevant. And Bullfrog, of course, agreed along with it as well as Keith Rebarber. Bullfrog went on to even say that I was jealous of his sexuality. Well, let me get that out of the way first, Bullfrog. No, I am not jealous of your sexuality. I could give a good rat's ass if you take it in the ass by a dude or some chick wearing a strap-on. That's your thing. It's shit you say like that pisses people off. It's when you shove your sexuality down people's throats. I pointed it out. Dave Rose pointed it out. That's what pisses people off. It's like you're demanding you be accepted for your sexuality. And when you hit on some straight dude, you demand that they accept your offer. It don't work like that, man. For anybody who listened to JB Sports Radio's Patreon show after his Wednesday broadcast on that afternoon, you'll see what an idiot and a liar Bullfrog is. On Ken's program, and I mentioned this before, he said he wanted to play with my sexy hair. I don't dig that shit, man. And on that Patreon show, he denied it. JB agrees. He is an absolute liar. Now, I was able to coexist with him on Minnesota's show, on our simulcast together, which, by the way, I'm going to, like the last one, I'm going to make a video and combine both part 1 and part 2 together. I'm doing that right now. I should probably check on to see when it's time to switch to part 2. But I'm proud to be straight. I'm happy to be straight. I love the women. I love the ladies. I love the chicks. I love the tits, the ass, and the pussy. I don't do dudes. Okay? Respect that. And I will respect your decision to be bi. Now, on to what Keith Rebarber said. YR says that since I left Metal Maniacs, I have become irrelevant. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I am an older man. I am in my 50s. I'm from a different generation, a different era, a different time. Many people at times have been expecting me to get into what's trending today. Too many times I hear people say things like, oh, Taylor Swift has a new song on Spotify. It's trending on Twitter. It's trending on Facebook. Let's go buy that song. Let's see if they have it at the nearby Walmart or Myers or Kmart's. Let's see if they have it on for sale on her website, on Spotify. Let's see if we can watch it on YouTube, the video that is. It's trending right now. We got to follow what's trending. I don't listen or care for Taylor Swift. I am not into her. I am not into Cardi B. I am not into Drake. Only 2 songs I like from Drake. And that's it. I am not into the Black Keys. I was never into the White Stripes. To me, that's just garage rock for the sake of being garage rock. Trying to repeat the past. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine back in Richmond, Michigan, ages ago. He asked me at a nearby bar, would you agree that Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is a great bass player? Now, I don't listen to the Chili Peppers, sorry to say, to him. I told him that. I don't listen to the Chili Peppers. But, yeah, bro, would you agree that Flea was an awesome, funky bass player? I said, I don't listen to the Chili Peppers. But, Earl, would you still agree? Like, Matt, listen. I don't listen to the Chili Peppers. I don't give a rat's ass about Flea. He's a good bass player, fine. My personal favorites, Cliff Burton, Lemmy Kilmister, Geezer Butler, Billy Sheehan. Okay? Understand that. Too many people out there expecting me to be relevant to the trends and the styles that's going on out there. I had a long conversation with my nephew, for instance. He was encouraging me to grow a long-ass beard. I'm like, why? I look terrible with a beard. Many people say I don't look good with a beard. Yeah, I had that little handlebar facial hairstyle months back for a good long period of time during the lockdown. Yeah, that's how I'm going to keep it. That's all I'm going to do. Bottom line. I'm not going to grow a big-ass beard, look like some hippie freak, look like a predator, look like a fucking creepo, a homeless bum. I'm not doing that. But, Earl, it's the trend. Men are doing it all the time. No. I'm also sick and tired of people expecting me to follow certain fashion styles as well. I like the glasses that I'm wearing. Someone mentioned me, you should get one of those black rim glasses that make you look like a nerd. That's trending right now. How come you don't have no tattoos? How come you don't have no piercings? How come you don't have plugs in your earlobes? Why the fuck should I? What I want to do is make being irrelevant relevant. Maybe that's my goal. I've always been my own person. I've always had my own thoughts, my own opinion, my own say-so, my own identity. Maybe because I don't really care for the shit that's out there right now. And by the way, I have no interest in wearing sandals or flip-flops. I refuse to wear those things. I prefer safe and comfortable footwear. Thank you very much. I used to see both those throughout the whole 1990s. A couple of people asked me to get a couple of those, including my nephew. I told him no, I refuse to wear them. And I'm sure as hell not going to wear those sports sandals with white socks. Whoever came up with that idea is an outright idiot. Maybe I choose to be irrelevant because when I look at it, the shit that's out there today is 20 times worse. The shit that we had listened to and watched back then was 20 times better than what we got now. I'm sorry, the comedies, sitcoms that's on TV right now doesn't float my boat. Doesn't cut my mustard. You know, I'm glad I had afternoon shifts for a long time because I had no interest in watching Seinfeld, Friends, or any of the shows that are out there, whether it's 2.5 Men, which I never found funny. I was never much into the Big Bang Theory either. It takes a long while for me to laugh at a joke on a sitcom, that's for sure. I mean, the stuff that Sanford and Son provided, or the Jeffersons, or All in the Family had, was a lot more better. Because that shit was taped in front of a studio audience. Most of the sitcoms out there now feature only canned laughter. And I'm sorry, I'm just not into that. I guess I never will be. What you're looking at, folks, is a man who is avant-garde. What people talk about, David Gagne or that Steve Aoki guy, those two EDM artists there. I'm going to be either into Chris Liebing, Richie Houghton, or Speedy J. I still regard his album, Public Energy #1, as my all-time favorite. His other album, A Dangerous Hobby, is also a kick-ass album as well. I prefer that. I'm underground, avant-garde, and I'm damn proud of it. So that's all I'm going to say for this moment. And one more thing I want to say. I don't hate you, Bullfrog. I just don't care for the shit that comes out of your mouth when you try to defend yourself. Oh, you're just jealous of my sexy looks. You're just jealous of my sexuality. You need to come up with some better things to say, man. That's all I got to say. Now, we were able to coexist on Minnesota's program hours earlier. I look forward to doing that again. In fact, we agreed on a couple of subjects that we were talking about concerning people's reputation after they commit an atrocity or a certain crime. I'm going to leave this video as it is right now. I wanted to get that out of my way. I'm going to check on the video there that I'm working on there. As I mentioned, I'm going to put part 1 and part 2 together into one video and then upload it on my channel again. In the meantime, I'm Dr. Earl W. Brown. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. Leave your comments about what I just said down below. Yeah, guys, have a good week.